Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the follow-up episode in our series where we're trying to track down all of the advancements in Minecraft as sequentially as possible. We actually made some really good progress in last week's episode, and to show you, let's go ahead and pull up our advancement tree. We were able to knock out a lot of the early game advancements, and what we'll need to do next is, well, this advancement here, Zombie Doctor. This is the last advancement that we can get before the sequence of things really starts to get a little bit wonky. And we'll talk about that as we get a little bit closer to it. But first off, we've got to track down, well, possibly one of the most frustrating structures in the entire game. That being we've got to track down a taiga biome, or a tundra, not a taiga, but a tundra biome, and then we not only need to find it, but we need to hope that there is a village that's generated within it, so we can find ourselves the equipment we need in order to actually fulfill the requirement. And we'll talk about that as we hopefully get closer to it. But first, I'm going to get myself a couple of dirt blocks because they might and probably will come in handy as we continue in through our adventure, because it's no longer all that safe to travel at night, and because of the advancements that we're aiming for, we are not allowing ourselves to sleep until that kind of comes up in the advancement table. Literally an hour and a half later, I finally appear to have found the terrain, at least, that I'm looking for. Did you just... Dolphins. You gotta love them, but sometimes you gotta question what they do. Anywho, this looks to be the relative biome that I'm looking for, in which I can try and seek out a village that has the igloo that I need for this advancement. So fingers crossed we can find that within this area. I really don't want to have to go track down another one of these. Now that we have had a chance to let the night dissipate here, it's still raining, but it appears as snow since we're in a colder biome. Oop. Let's see if we can get away from these guys and up into these spikes, where hopefully we can find a nearby village. Now, ice spikes themselves will not spawn the structure that we're looking for, but hopefully maybe it'll give us a vantage point to what we are looking for, hoping for even. Ooh, that's not quite the structure, I don't think, that we're looking for, but it is close. And that was a bit of a risky move, but it paid off, I think. So let's get up into this little village and see. I don't think any of these technically constitute as being igloos. This one's big enough to the point where it might, but it's not. These are just little icy houses. With that being said, this is actually going to be a decently good spot for us to set up camp, provided that we can find a... I mean, we could make our own chest, but if we can find a place that has a chest already, like this cartographer here, we can stock up or save up some of our stuff here. So, what do we not need to be carting around? Well, we don't need this obsidian. We don't need this enchanted apple. Well, we do, but we don't need it on our person immediately. I think that pretty much makes up for it right now. And we've got some bread, so that's some additional food. And what biome are we in currently? We are in a snowy mountain biome. So we need to find a snowy tundra or snowy taiga, which should be right around here. But first off, I'm going to actually preemptively, just in case, since it is during the day, I can make use of a mechanic involving respawning, because I can't lay down in this bed, but I can set it as my respawn point. So if anything should happen, I will end up right back here where I know I've got my stuff kept. And we were able to do that without triggering the advancement, which is good. I think that's it. I think this one right here is what we're looking for, and it's actually not too far away from the last place we were at. Yes, this is the igloo we're looking for. And it does have a basement. Awesome. So, this is how we are going to get ourselves the advancement of the zombie doctor. So, as you'll see here, there is a splash potion of weakness. Now, we've got to be very, very cautious with this. And over here, we have, some wheat. We've got some coal. But the most important thing we have is a golden apple. And that is important to interact with this guy here. So, we've got this guy hanging out in the corner, which we can take our splash potion of weakness and hit him with it. And now that he's been hit with that, we can feed him the golden apple. And now we just sit here and wait for like 4 minutes and let the magic kind of work itself out. And our weakness effect will wear off in that time frame as well. And would you look at that? This guy has been cured. He has changed back from his, his cleric state to, changed from his cleric state as a, and I just broke that. Apparently you have to mine that up with an actual thing, but that's okay. But yeah, we were able to cure this guy up, and he is now, he got us the advancement that we were looking for. So if we come over to that advancement tree, you'll now see that this section of the branch has been completed. And this is where we need to talk about, the difficulty that comes with doing the next step. Because the next step involves following an Eye of Ender to a stronghold and entering the end into the end portal. But the trouble with that is, I can guarantee you that this seed does not have a fully loaded end portal. It just doesn't. So we're going to have to put this section on hold in order to progress into this next section, because we're going to require some stuff out of the nether advancements. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting. If we go by the same moniker of filling out everything sequentially, we're going to break a couple of things. I didn't actually brew a potion. I just picked up one. So I guess we've kind of already broken that. But I don't agree with that, since I wasn't the one that brewed it. I guess I retrieved it from a brewing station, so that's probably what actually happened there. But anyway, in order for us to go through this sequentially, we're going to have to break a couple of rules. First off, we're going to have to return to sender, destroying a ghast with a fireball, which isn't overly difficult, but it is going to give us this Monster Hunter achievement, which is out of order of what we're aiming for with this. With the premise of this series. So that's another break that we're going to have to make in this progression. Additionally, we're going to have to somehow manage to get, or we would have to manage to somehow get ourselves a full set of netherite armor without ever... well, I guess there's not really a way that you can do this, because you would need to get a full set of netherite armor before crafting diamond armor or having diamonds in your inventory. So this is the first area where I'm going to kind of break this this cycle that we've been on. First off, I'm going to craft ourselves an iron pickaxe, and we're going to go ahead and fill out this tree before we progress into the nether tree. And we are going to attempt to get to have this return to sender, destroying a ghast with a fireball. We're going to attempt to have that be the first monster hunter, or the first monster that we've killed, and thus achieve the Monster Hunter achievement. And that's going to be pretty difficult to achieve, but I think we can do it. From there, I think that we can get away with the entirety of the rest of this progression. Hopefully. The one that's going to really be difficult here is the hot tourist destination. But I think we can still do it. So we're going to spend the rest of today's episode finishing out the overworld achievements, with the exception of the one achievement that is getting ourselves a... Oh gosh, is there a stray in here? It sounds like there's a stray wandering around, which is gonna complicate things a little bit. But yeah, we're going to dedicate the rest of today's episode to filling out that tree that has to do with diamonds. And you can't see everything that's in this tree as of yet. But we'll have isn't an iron pick, which is acquiring an iron pickaxe, which if we have a blacksmith in one of these villages that we've come across, it might just be as simple as grabbing it from there. And then we'll need to acquire diamonds, and then there will be 2 more that pop up in here, there will be a Cover Me in Diamonds achievement, which is achieving a full set of diamond gear, followed by the Enchanter achievement. But we're going to wait for the night to finish up here before we even think about doing anything else. All right, so after a little bit of mining, we've got enough for our first sets of iron pickaxes, and that will give us the advancement Isn't It Iron Pick. And if we have a look at that advancement tree, we now only have to acquire diamonds, get the advancement Cover Me with Diamonds, and Enchanter. Enchanter is probably going to be the most, I guess not the most difficult advancement, but we might just have to go with a low-level enchantment instead of, you know, fully enchanting our gear or anything else. But that's neither here nor there. So let's empty out our inventory a little bit and then make our way over to the mine where we were at. So I've started a little bit of a strip mine operation in order to make sure that we can get the required amount of diamonds that we need. And as I was digging out the initial square with my favorite method of strip mining, we came across our first piece of diamond ore. So let's go ahead and grab it. And you always want to dig a little bit around the initial plot just to make sure. It looks like this chunk of diamond generation was ruined a bit by the dirt that's right here. But those are our first 3 diamonds. So nothing to complain about there. And before I finish mining out this chunk, I'm actually going to go and get myself some more wood so we can start storing a lot of these goods down here without needing to resurface. So I'm going to go take care of that real quick, and then we're actually going to jump into a little bit of a time lapse. So hopefully you are excited for that. Oh, man, that was quite a grind. But, as you can see, we now have ourselves a set of diamond armor that we can use to our benefit. So I'm actually going to swap everything out here for this new fresh set of diamond armor. And then we'll go ahead and leave our starter set on this armor stand right here. And I know I've just kind of moved into this cartographer's house. So I'm sure he doesn't mind. But we've got to do the next item in our adventure here. And that is going to involve us making an enchanting table and then likewise enchanting. So we have a book, and then we just need to make ourselves... Ideally, I'd like to have more than just a singular bookshelf. But that's going to do for now. So we've got ourselves a bookshelf, an enchanting table, and then let's go ahead and set up our enchanting area down in that mine shaft where we just kind of climbed out of, just because it'll be out of the way and I won't have to commandeer another villager's house. So let's just kind of dig out a spot over here, put the enchanting table down right here, and we'll eventually get more bookcases, but I'm very low on the needed leather to get the full set. But that's not what we need for the advancement, so we'll stave that off for a later time. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and at least dig these parts out of the floor, and then let's cook up some cobblestone so we can fill that back in. Let's actually do... That's 7 pieces. Nothing super great on any of these, actually. But I guess we can take the projectile protection. And that gets us every advancement that we can get for now. We do need to do the I Spy in the End advancement, which requires some items out of the nether. But we'll tackle that in our next episode, or start to tackle those in our next episode, because, well, a couple of these are going to be a little bit nasty. And we are only going to progress through this section until we get to this into fire advancement, which does mean that we will be taking on a wither and building a fully optimized beacon, or creating a fully optimized beacon before we ever go to the end, because that's the nature of the challenge that we're dealing with here. But let me know in the comments what you think about this this goal that we're on. And, well, thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.